securities laws and regulations are applied, and advance clear rules of the road that encourage investment in our economy to the benefit of Americans. A top priority of my chairmanship will be to provide a firm regulatory foundation for digital assets. Through a rational, coherent, and principled approach, we will work to ensure that the United States is the best and most secure place in the world to invest and to do business. So, Mr. President, again, thank you very much for your graciousness in extending such a warm welcome to my family and me today in this storied room. I look forward to working with you, with colleagues in your administration, and with Congress to advance your agenda to bolster the economy and build on U.S. leadership of the global markets. So thank you very much. Our security.
Hey, what's going up, bull runners? Welcome back to the channel. Now imagine this. You're deep in the crypto game, stacking coins, chasing gains, but what if the code that you trust, your wallet, your blockchain, has a hidden trap waiting to drain everything that you've earned? Right now, as you watch this, the crypto world is buzzing with shocks that could change how you invest forever. A secret backdoor was just found in a major blockchain's code, a whale's making millions without lifting a finger, and massive shifts in Washington could skyrocket digital assets or crash them. Time's ticking, and you need to know what's happening today to protect your portfolio and seize the opportunities flooding in. Stick with me through this video because we're going to be breaking down the biggest crypto headlines in plain English, showing you why they matter and how you can stay ahead of the curve. And here's the kicker. Stay with me until the end and you'll get an exclusive access to our free ebook packed with altcoin secrets that could unlock the next big win for your wallet. Plus, we will be jumping over to X to find out all the breaking news that's happening in the financial world today. And we will, of course, be jumping into the charts for XRP at the end of this video as well. If you're just here for the charting, feel free to fast forward for that. In this video, we are going to update you with the massive resistance and support levels for XRP. We're also going to go over our short-term and long-term momentum waves. We will also take a look at Bitcoin in the charts. We have now officially solidified a break above the zero line on our long-term momentum wave. Very exciting news there on the daily charts. We will also take a look at the April 2025 crypto calendar for you, keep you updated what to expect this week. And we'll also go to Forex Factory and determine what important news you need to be aware of in the financial markets. And so much more in today's video. So if you're like most people where you don't have the opportunity to spend hours a day going through all of this information and condensing it down, that's what we do for you. So just make sure you subscribe today. And if you're feeling bullish about this current bull run, let me know by commenting 777 down below. But first, let's head over to CoinMarketCap and check out the overall health of the crypto market today. Checking in right now, we're at $2.9 trillion, up 6.25%. That's what we've been talking about. Making a new higher high. Needed to break above 2.8 trillion. It has now done that. The real move we're looking for is breaking above 3 trillion. Will that be coming in the next 24 hours? We'll definitely pay attention. This move to the upside comes along with some very exciting volume, $124 billion worth of crypto volume today. And 2.92 trillion, just double checking on that. As you see, we are on our way up to that $3 trillion mark. This was the level that we've been talking about, the April 2nd high. We needed to break above that. And check this out. We've even now broken above the March 26th of 2025 high as well. So we're going to need to zoom out to the 1-year chart here. And as we can see, we had a high, then a new lower low, then a new lower high, and then a new lower low. And now we officially have a new higher high, not just on this smaller time frame, which we barely eked out recently, but now we have an official new higher high. We will obviously need to see continuation over the next 24 to 48 hours to see where we're going. But we do have new market structure officially on the daily charts for the total market cap of crypto. Fear and Greed Index taking a huge jump today, all the way up to 52, sitting in the neutral level. Yesterday was in 38. Last week was down at 29. Altcoin season, though, it's still not here. Just Bitcoin pump season. It is full on orange Bitcoin season. We've even dropped now to 14 out of 100. We've been sitting at the 15 levels, but now it is at a newer low. And that is coinciding right here with Bitcoin dominance, now up to 63.5, up 2.67%. And in some very promising news here, ladies and gentlemen, this is what we've been talking about, tracking the Bitcoin ETFs and how much volume is coming into these, watching for the pump. We have found that Bitcoin ETF tracker does precede the moves for Bitcoin. So as we can see here, last week there was a big day to end the week, even though there was a really harsh day before that. So last week basically zeroed out, and I'll show you that here in the larger scale. But as we can see, yesterday's numbers came out, and that is indicating a $447 million inflow to the Bitcoin ETFs. And the day before that, $381 million. So now when we zoom out and take a look at the weekly, as you can see, last week it was to the upside $11 million, but this week already up $828 million to the upside. We obviously see Bitcoin starting to pump. So as you can see right here, this gray line is the price of Bitcoin, and then the orange lines are the inflow to the ETFs. And as you saw right here, back in October, it started pumping money into the ETFs. November, then we started breaking those highs, and then it started selling off, and that's when we've been recently getting these lows. But the exciting thing is this is the biggest volume inflow in only 2 days of reporting since the week of March 16th. So we'll continue to track this for you. Very exciting. If we can have a continuation next week of institutional inflow into the market, fantastic for us. Top 5 trending coins according to CoinMarketCap today. Number 1 is Bitcoin up 5%. Number 2, Ethereum up 11%. XRP at number 3 up 5%. Solana up 7%. Number 4, and Sui coming in at 21% in the last 24 hours at number 5. And top 5 cryptos by total market cap. We got Bitcoin, of course, number 1 at $1.8 trillion. Ethereum surpassing $200 billion market cap again, finally today, up at $215 billion. Great job, Ethereum holders. Tether coming in at number 3, $145 billion. And you know that they just minted an additional billion, so giving themselves some more. Then we have XRP coming in at number 4 at $129 billion. How long will it take for XRP to overtake Tether for that number 3 spot again? BNB coming in at number 5 at $87 billion. And we'll go ahead and cover Solana as well at number 6 at $76 billion, giving a run to BNB. All right, kicking us off over here at X, let's go ahead and look at the April 2025 calendar and what's going on this week. Today, we did have the Tesla earnings call, and unfortunately, earnings are down quite significantly for Tesla over Q1. Will they rebound over the next couple of quarters? We will find out. It also came out today that Elon Musk does not agree with the tariffs, and he would like for Trump to reduce the tariffs. And believe it or not, Trump said today he's bringing down the tariffs. So very interesting over there. Also tomorrow, U.S. Beige Book, Meta earnings call, and Bithumb is delisting ZBCN. So keep an eye out for that. Also coming up on Thursday, Google's earnings call, Microsoft earnings call. So big news in traditional finance markets this week. And on Friday, the virtual asset TF second roundtable. And since we're going to financial news, let's go look at the traditional finance calendar and the news that's coming out. So Wednesday at 6:45 a.m., we have manufacturing and services PMI coming out tomorrow morning. Will it also be a beat? We've had really very successful news coming out over the markets the last week. When we go back 1 week, we had retail sales information come out. Fed Chair Powell obviously was the only bad news last week. Unemployment claims were down. So as you can see here, all green numbers last week. And now we're here on the week of April 20th through 26th. Will we also continue the green? Cryptos rebounded today. Stock market rebounded today. So let's hope some real positive news comes out the rest of this week, and we will keep you updated on this. Make sure you subscribe today. Also over on X, and you can follow us, by the way, at Altcoin Pro and the Bull Runners channel, but Altcoin Pro underscores how you can find our training program, our crypto course on X.com. Trump's SEC chair, Paul Atkinson, officially sworn in today, says digital assets are a top priority, promising a rational, coherent, and principled framework. Crypto's regulatory moment is here. This is very exciting for everyone involved in the crypto industry. And as you know, on this segment, we've been going back and forth with TradFi and crypto and TradFi and crypto and bringing it because it is merging together. A lot of people are saying today crypto may have decoupled from the stock market. That's only time will tell on that. But this is also related to crypto and traditional finance. But Trump says, I have no intention of firing Fed Chair Powell.
Contention regarding Jerome Powell, because here, economic advisor Kevin Hassett a few days ago said that you and people in West are studying this idea of possibly getting reports turn hand.
No.
Do you have any plans on doing it?
None whatsoever. Never did. The press runs away with things. No, I have no intention of firing him. I would like to see him be a little more active in terms of his idea to lower interest rates. It's a perfect time to lower interest rates. If he doesn't, is it the end? No, it's not. But it would be good timing. Could have taken place earlier. But no, I have no intention to fire him.
So Trump toning down his rhetoric a little bit, because if you remember, just a couple of days ago, we covered preemptive. This was his tweet or his post over on Truth Social. We're just absolutely ripping Powell, saying preemptive cuts in interest rates are being called for by many. With energy costs way down, food prices, including Biden's egg disaster, substantially lower, and most other things trending down, there is virtually no inflation. With these costs trending so nicely downward, just what I predicted that they would do, there can almost be no inflation, but there can be slowing in the economy unless Mr. Too Late, a major loser, lowers interest rates. Now, Europe has already lowered their interest rates 7 times. Powell has always been too late, except for when it comes to the election period when he was helping Sleepy Joe and Kamala Harris. So it's interesting to see the financial civil war, as I've been calling it, the Federal Reserve versus Donald Trump. That is a real thing that's happening. Will Jerome Powell finally lower interest rates? Only time will tell. The problem is at this point, because Trump has talked so much trash to Jerome Powell, out of spite probably is going to try to not reduce those rates, because then it makes Trump look like a winner. And we know that Jerome Powell is not a big fan of Trump. And on top of that, just in today, also, Bank of America says it doesn't expect interest rates to cut this year due to inflation. So Bank of America and the Federal Reserve and the banks are trying to say that there's traditional inflation going on in the market. Remember, you can't bring down interest rates unless inflation has gotten under control, because then people start buying and spending and buying and spending, and it gets out of control again, and then you start to have inflation again because of the supply and demand, right? So if we lower interest rates, that means that a lot of companies, large and small, can start borrowing money. That even means that mom and pop shops, that also means regular people that want to buy a house. If interest rates come down, people find a way to spend money, which then drives prices up because of the demand. So this is interesting talk coming out of Bank of America today, along with what Trump was saying, wanting to have these interest rates cuts, Bank of America saying no, and we also know Jerome Powell holding strong to his will. And in the news today, this was a really interesting one as well. World Economic Forum launches investigation into Klaus Schwab for financial misconduct days after he resigned as chairman. Now, if you've been following this channel long enough, you know that we talk about the World Economic Forum all the time, because they're the ones that are the secret government behind money, connected to also the Federal Reserve, right? They're the ones that set monetary policy in advance. And this guy also was trying to set social policy and so on. Their whole big group is like a private underground government that's trying to dictate how the world runs. It's actually crazy. The New World Order is not real, but it's real, but it's not real, but it's real. But this guy was the head of it. And recently he had to step down. But now there's even more information coming out that they're in financial trouble because of the fact that Trump took away all of that funding. If you remember, like USAID and all these, and he also straight up just said, I'm not funding the World Economic Forum anymore. So the World Economic Forum is running out of money, but Klaus Schwab is one of the richest guys in the world, and people are finding out how he was actually getting that money, which may be from stealing from the World Economic Forum. So we'll continue to follow up on that. But what's even more, this guy is supposed to be the bad guy, the dark, sinister, evil overlord of the New World Order. Well, the new guy's even worse. And here he is, ladies and gentlemen. Now, obviously, this is the picture everyone's posting because he's got a red eye. He looks like the Terminator or something like that. But this is the guy who worked at Nestle and said that no human should have access to Nestle unless they buy, or Nestle, no human should have access to water unless they buy it from us. It's a commodity. It's not a right. So, yes, kind of the perfect villain to fill in the spot of the previous villain. These guys are absolutely crazy. And